In the summer of 2010 to 2011, Western Australia experienced an unprecedented heatwave, but not on land. Between December 2010 and April 2011, sea temperatures off the Western Australian coast reached 3 degrees Celsius above average, and for 2 weeks peaked at 5 degrees Celsius above average. We're still learning about this extraordinary event. Recent research published in the Journal of Ecology and Global Change Biology shows that the heatwave had a significant, possibly permanent impact on the seagrass beds of Shark Bay, an internationally recognised World Heritage Area. The seagrass did recover a little over the next 2 years, but only to 7 to 20% of the historical averages for Shark Bay. With climate change forecast to increase the frequency of extreme weather events, this is a sign of things to come.
Shark Bay is one of 2 sites that were studied globally that have some of the highest levels and deeper burial of organic carbon associated with seagrasses. And the importance of seagrasses in the system in 2011 was the release of carbon in the form of CO2 from the loss of the seagrass and the subsequent erosion of the sediments was equivalent to everybody in Perth driving their cars for 2 years. So it's equivalent to 800,000 cars on the road for 2 years, the carbon emissions from them. Similarly, the carbon emissions from 3 coal-fired power plants, or the carbon emissions from 1 million houses for 1 year. Between 2.5% to 9% of the total Australian carbon emission was released in that one event from the shallow waters of Shark Bay. But, and this is the important thing, the fact that it was released and that we can measure it's fine, but it's not accounted for. So in Australian carbon counting, only terrestrial systems are included at the present time. So it was on top of the existing carbon footprint of Australia globally.
Then the water started going black, inky black, and we just didn't know what that was. And then, of course, it came to light that it was all algae floating in the water. And then you couldn't see in the water because the water was so dark green, black colour. And then the grass started slowly dying.
Hi everyone, my name's Jade. I'm one of the skippers on Aristocat 2, our beautiful family boat. We've been running this ecotourism business since 1997, 25 years now. My mum and dad started it back in the early 90s because they just fell in love with Monkey Mia and the Shark Bay area, and that's definitely passed on to me and my brother. My passion is about the wildlife. I love the dolphins, love the dugongs, love the turtles. A very common question I get asked is if I get bored of seeing them every day, and the answer is 100% no. I'd get very sad if I didn't get to see these animals every single day. And unfortunately, that could potentially happen if we don't start saving our beautiful seagrass.
So it's not all doom and gloom as we thought in 2010, 2011. It's a great community ecological exercise. So it's where we get the social components put together with the ecological, and we get interest from government and industry to actually plant seagrasses. And that basically builds resilience in the existing natural meadows, and it actually builds a capacity for that system to survive another heat wave or just global warming associated with climate change.
One really cool thing that we have been doing at the moment, so obviously we have the largest seagrass banks in the world, around 4,000 square kilometres. We used to have a lot more, but unfortunately because of the seagrass die-off in 2011, we did lose a fair bit, 1,000 square kilometres. So our seagrass banks were suffering a lot.
So we've got the seedlings here for Amphibolus antarcticus. This is the fastest growing seagrass in Shark Bay. So then we have Hessian saxia, which Dad's sown in the back shed.
And it took me a long time to actually figure out how to sow these bags. I made a lot of mistakes. But in the end, I think I sowed the 1,500 bags in about 50 hours.
Pretty much get the Hessian sacks filled with 25 to 30 kilos of sand, and then we run them off the back of Aristocat onto the protected dugong bank, witch bank. And then we pretty much want the seedlings to get broken off from the main plant and come drifting along in the cars. We pretty much want that to happen.
In the seagrass trial years of 2022 and 2023 with the University of WA, the ecotourism catamaran Aristocat 2 was used for the deployment of the sandbags. For 2024, it was decided another type of boat was needed to reach the full potential for the seagrass restoration project.
All right, so we've got the jet boat here that we bought for the 2024 seagrass restoration. So this is the Norwest Lady, the absolute perfect design that we need for the sandbagging. But the reason we wanted to go for the jet boat was obviously firstly shallow water operations, and secondly, we wanted to completely eliminate the risk of injury to marine mammals and turtles. We don't have an exposed propeller or no leg. So we're in the process of doing a refit on it, trying to make it into a bit more of a special purpose research and sandbagging vessel. It'll have all the bells and whistles. It'll be a really good boat by the time we're finished with it.
So in 2024, what we want to do is we want to move up to 2,000 bags, but we're going to make the bags as full as these ones here. Again, 25, 30 kilos of sand, and we're going to have it conveyor belt on the back of the boat. So obviously the task is very difficult with wrist tattoo, so we knew we had to do something about it. So wrist tattoo, it focused this boat here, and we've done the entire refit on it.
Sandbags will create a substrate for the seedlings to attach to, preventing the seedlings from washing ashore or drifting out to depths where they cannot survive. In total, 2,000 sandbags were loaded onto the Norwest Lady, ready for delivery to the restoration sites. Additionally, hundreds of sandbags were prepared with seedlings already attached to them, increasing their chances of survival. Once on board, the bags were placed on rollers and dropped into the sea. The bags were then inspected and adjusted by teams of scuba divers, a vital step to ensure the best possible placement for the seedlings to attach to. Within just 24 hours, loose seedlings became trapped in the rough mesh of the sandbags. The continuation of the Seagrass restoration project largely depends on further support of the sponsors, volunteers, and the public at large.
My name is Aneta. I heard about the project through social media, and I had been involved in similar projects before. It surprised me a little bit to hear that there was such a need in our World Heritage listed area here in Shark Bay, and I was very eager to join the project because I understand the significance of seagrass. I'm willing to learn to find new ways that are being used to restore the meadows. Being a volunteer means that you do have to find the time. No one has the time, everyone is busy, everyone has families, but something this important cannot be overlooked, and it is the responsibility of everyone. It isn't just politicians or environmental scientists. It is families like the local families here that are so passionate about the project. Organisations such as Ozfish. This entire project seems to be run by the passion of people.
Yeah, my whole family's got behind this. My kids are passionate about it. Our staff are passionate about it.
We've got around 10,000 dugongs living here in Shark Bay, which is about 10% of the world's population. So unfortunately, there's only around 100,000 left in the world. And we really want to make a difference with that, and we want to help our dugong population and everything else that lives here as well, because the seagrass is the life force of the entire bay here.
As it is approximated, 70,000 sandbags will need to be laid on the seafloor, not only to help restore what has been lost, but most importantly, build the resilience of the seagrass meadows in Shark Bay. And in doing so, ensure that the seagrasses of Shark Bay will be able to continue playing their vital role in the sustainability and future of our planet.